Well, hello everyone, yet again. This is Blodbas. Just thought I'd take a moment while I had a moment to kind of give a little bit of an update, uh, and kind of say what's going on. I don't even know how to phrase these things anymore. It still feels kind of awkward to me. I don't really know what I'm trying to do here. So if it appears awkward, it's because it is awkward. It's beyond me, but hopefully there's some value in this. Today's little video on a wonderful Saturday is brought to us by Anchor Porter. Had never tried it before, so I thought, why not, as I saw it sitting on the shelf. And it's not bad. It's not the best one I've had lately. It kind of it isn't a porter in my way of thinking. It isn't quite there. It's got some weird taste that I don't really know how to identify, but it doesn't have kind of the depth, I guess, that I usually think of with porters. But why not? It was fun to try. Had never had it before, so why the hell not? As far as random goofy ass news that I'm not really sure even matters, but Monday I received an email from my boss that my contract was up this week. It kind of came as a shock to all of us because we thought that work-study contracts ran through the end of the semester, but that apparently was not the case. My coworkers cut out the week before, and mine cut out the middle of this week. I had half a week left when the email came out, so we're kind of trying to work through a way that, because there's still a lot of stuff. I've been at this job for 2 years, and a lot of it is really heavily based in editing and documentation and kind of an institutional knowledge of how our project works. So there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be done. I mean, I've already accepted the fact that when I leave, there's going to be significant issues. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get everything done that I need to, but I can at least hope, and we're trying to make it work out so that I have a little bit more time in there and can tie things up in as neat a bow as I can, and get all my audio files and video files and all my text documents that I've been working on these past 2 years in some sort of order, so the next person that comes in will have half a fucking clue what is going on. Because as it sits, it's just whoever picks up after me is going to have a rough time trying to figure out what happened and what needs to be done and all that. So it kind of, well, it didn't kind of, it kicked me in the ass trying to think, okay, where do I want to be as far as 3 weeks of school left? What kind of job can we look for? Where would I foreseeably like to be living? All those kinds of things. I just shut off my phone because I forgot to do that at the beginning because I'm a complete newbie at making these things. That's how good I am. But it kind of made me think about, where I want to be and what I want to be doing. And, this channel, and I almost hate to say it because there's so many people who do such a better job, but this is kind of a basis for something that, I, at least going forward, I might be able to say that I have this kind of experience working with the video, working with the video. Yeah, the internets are a great thing too. I hear Al Gore invented them. But at least be able to show that I have basic editing skills, and I have a completely different portfolio, if you will, that I can pull up for audio editing. But it seems like for what I want to do in the meantime, before I try and figure out master's school and all that, to get a little bit of a nest egg built up before I go that route, I wouldn't mind, and I would really like to get into some sort of capacity editing or proofreading or etc. In the journalism field. Now, whether that winds up being like some indie newspaper or an indie publication of whatever way, shape, or form, it could really be anything that I'm interested in, or like online content for communities, for gaming communities. That would kind of be the ideal, because I really just have so much fun with it. But I realize that there's a hell of a lot of people out there that do it and do a lot better job than I, and are much more sparkling and bubbly personalities than I am. That I would want to be more on the back end of it, proofreading, editing, kind of managing the guts of things rather than being out in front. But if that kind of job were offered, I wouldn't say no, as long as I fit what they needed. So the town I'm in now, and I do use town, it was kind of the big city when I moved up here, but it's a fairly small town, has one independent paper, and a couple literary journals, but they're mostly run through the school, so there's not much opportunity there. I wouldn't mind staying here, but the more I kind of look at things and think of opportunities, I know everything sucks everywhere, job-wise, and being an English major is just kind of a death sentence right now, and so many of us are trying to struggle to find something that we want to do. But I guess the quality that I got out of this school is much better. I have published, I have edited, I've done a lot of editing and a lot of proofreading and a lot of things like that into published materials. So, I do have a couple years experience of doing all this editing kind of stuff. And I really think that where I'm at now, moving west is probably going to be the way that it goes. Seattle, Portland, somewhere like that, that's a little, doesn't look at me and just kind of go, what the fuck are you? And, lose the job strictly based on that. And that it seems like the more, for one, I couldn't move to a conservative place and work for a independent conservative newspaper. I'd just wind up destroying someone. But, Seattle, Portland, both are a lot bigger than where I'm at now, and with size comes those opportunities to maybe be able to get in and do work with a publication that I can believe in for a little while, and then see where we go, see if I want to stay in that route, or if I want to go, Seattle and Portland both have universities, so there's the opportunity just being there that for future degrees, that this school, I don't think that I would ever consider going to master's school here or working on a PhD here. As much love as I have for this place, it's just, I don't vibe here very well. And it's it's a mixed bag. I like the small town kind of life. I grew up in small rural towns, but it's kind of nice to have more of a community of people like me, which I'm not that extreme in anything, but, you know, we're walking down the street with that, and yeah, the plan is to grow it out. So I went and had it cut because this was bugging me, but I didn't want it completely shaved bald yet because it's not to that point. Anyway, complete tangent. I can walk down the street looking like this up here and get a little bit of a weird look. This town is not, it's a little bit different makeup, but yeah, anyway, big town, more opportunity. I'll quit babbling about it. So there we go. So if anyone happens to see this, and God, I almost hate that. I hate to mention it because I know I could do so much better on these videos, but I'm learning, so I don't want to take them down and just, if I were to make everything perfect, I would never put anything up. I figure that they're good enough. They're not great, but they're good enough. And I'm still learning, so maybe if this goes on for a year, we can watch that progress just continue. And, you know, right now it's just basic. But if anyone, you know, hears of a editing job or a publisher's assistant job or something like that, and I need to quit doing that with my eyebrows. That makes me look really creepy. Yeah. So if anyone were to watch this and hear of anything like that, drop me a line. I am pretty open with, you know, heading anywhere. Seattle, Portland just kind of have a draw for me right now. It's kind of the same culture that I'm living in now, but a little bit more diverse, I guess, or a little bit bigger with more diversity. So yeah, I mean, I'm not limiting myself to that. I have kind of ruled out kind of doing the small town boy living in his lonely world, taking the midnight train to like New York or LA. I think those might be a little bit too big, and the South just doesn't really appeal to me. But I don't know. Maybe Boston or Chicago's a little bit cold, and I say this coming from Montana, but I don't know. I really am kind of drawn to the Northwest, but if something else came up, I wouldn't say no. As far as videos go, because I'm just going to keep rambling, and that just doesn't do anyone any good. I can't remember with the last video. I think I might have mentioned that I think I did. I think I did it in that last little midweek thing that I did. I've started playing through Shores of Hell, and have Deimos Anomaly completely up. It's on YouTube now. It's in its own playlist for the Shores of Hell. I didn't play this. I mean, I was a shareware kid, you know, as a lot of us were, so I played Knee Deep in the Dead over and over and over and over and over again, but I never really didn't own the other 2 original episodes and the 3 with Ultimate Doom until just a few years ago, when I kind of got nostalgic, and, you know, it would have been when Doom 3 came out, I think. Somewhere right in there that I went back and bought the Ultimate Doom and Doom 2 and did the Steam get everything that ever existed from id kind of purchase that they did. So I'm not very familiar with this. I have recorded up to, and we'll do air quotes, I recorded up through Deimos Lab, did the voice, had everything set up, was running just fine and dandy, ran through all of it, and exited out, and I didn't turn fucking fraps on. I forgot to actually have Fraps record it. So I've been going through again, and the other night I pulled the same move. I recorded through the containment area, the refinery, and I got up through the refinery, and I forgot to record. I'm a little bit slow with this kind of stuff. So last night I started, and I only forgot to record the containment area, and there was about 10 minutes of me just going off on my audio program with all sorts of fucking expletives and all sorts of fun stuff. I did, however, third time's the charm, recorded the containment area. And yeah, it's recorded, the voices are all put in, it was rendered to my hard drive, so all I need to do is upload it to YouTube, and that one will be up, so that will probably happen today. The refinery is up next. Instead of doing, I'm trying to keep it all sequential, so, you're not seeing goofy shit where I come into a level with, why does he have 100% health now when he had 10 when he left or whatever. So I'm trying to keep it all sequential. I'm going to go through and run the refinery today, hopefully get through Deimos Labs. I would like to get at least I would like to get up to Command Center. I'm not going to promise that, however. There will be at least 2 videos this weekend, though, excluding this one. There will be 3 including it. Because, I don't want to do this piecemeal. I'd rather have 2 videos at a time or 3 videos at a time or something like that. But we'll just see how it goes. By the end of this weekend, I at least want to have up through the command center recorded, if not all edited together and things like that, because we are starting to get, it's the final 3 weeks of class, and being a humanities kid, I don't have finals per se, like you might have a final test in biology or something like that. I have papers, and I have presentations, and I have projects and things like that, and my nose just really itches today. It just started warming up. I hope that this isn't the summer I start getting hay fever or anything. So a lot of those projects are coming due in the next 2 weeks before finals week. That just seems to be the way that they go. So I'm not necessarily sure I'm going to have time to edit through all of those, but I at least hope to get them recorded, and then we can, just start throwing them up right before I go to bed or something like that, and let them upload while I'm doing other things. So hopefully that will happen. I was worried that this video was going to be really short, and I look at my little thing and it's 18:44:45. So we will wrap up with that. Thanks for watching. I hope I can't believe I just rambled like that for 19 minutes. Jesus Christ. My mind just goes off on tangents, I guess. Anyway, thanks again for watching. If you're enjoying this stuff, leave comments, send me a message, any of the above, and let me know how I can improve, and I will take it to heart. Hope that you have a good weekend, and we will talk with you later.